Let us pray. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Our most gracious and merciful Father, we come to you today to share this meaningful event as we celebrate the fruits of our long academic, physical, and spiritual labors. We are grateful for your love and guidance in our journey. As we gather here today to celebrate a step forward into new places with new people and new experiences, let us not forget the blessings that follow behind us. Thank you for the angels that you have sent through Tatang and his family through the SM Foundation. Their generosity has inspired us to help others and give back to the community. I hope that one day we will also be able to help economically challenged students achieve their goals just as they have helped us. Please guide them as they continue to spread social good amidst these trying times. We also thank you for our families who have cheered us onto the finish line and stood by our side through the many bumps in the road. For the friends that we have found among our fellow SM scholars, for all the jokes that we will laugh about in the years to come, for the hardships and tears we have endured together side by side, and for your love which has been made evident through the relationships we will carry with us beyond these walls. We ask for your wisdom and clear direction over our lives, that you would give us understanding beyond our years. We pray that you would direct our steps so that your plans for us would prosper. Please allow every gift and treasure you have placed inside our lives to grow, develop, and flourish to bring you glory. Kini ang among giampo, pinaagi ni Kristo nga among Ginoo. Amen. Sa ngalan sa Amahan, sa Anak, sa Espiritu Santo. Amen.
Good afternoon, everyone, and I hope everyone is having a great afternoon. My name is Aaron Cristobal, and ako po yung host for this afternoon's event. So before we start, I'd like to remind all the panelists to please turn on your videos. And also, if you will be posting anything on your social media, please use the hashtag SM Scholars Stand with Grit. So hashtag SM Scholars Stand with Grit for all your social media postings. So welcome everyone. Our theme for this year's graduation is Stand with Grit. So I'd like everybody to please check out the comments here on the chat box because tatanungin ko po sa inyong lahat, what do you think is the meaning of grit? So G-R-I-T, ano kaya ang ibig sabihin nun? Please type your guesses in the chat box because the winner we will be having 3 winners and the top commenters will get a 500 peso GCash prize. So isulat nyo lang po dyan, what is grit for you? And you could win 500 pesos GCash prize for the top 3 winners. So malalaman natin what does this mean by the end of the program and we will announce the winners at the end as well. So, to quote our beloved tatang, Mr. Henry C., he stated that I knew I had the drive and determination to make something of myself. In this, we say a person with true grit has passion and perseverance. Ayun nga, sa Tagalog, ang isang taong may determinasyon ay hindi sumusuko at kayang lampasan ang anumang pagsubok. Because all of us know that SM Scholars Stand with Grit. Please use that hashtag once again if you will be posting on social media. So, alam kong nai-inspire tayo sa lahat ng nakikita natin this afternoon and this is the theme of our entire event today. So, to welcome and start off the program, let me introduce to you SM Foundation's AVP for Education Program, Miss Eleanor Lingling Lansang.
Okay, a pleasant afternoon to everyone. Allow me to welcome and greet our distinguished guests joining us today. Mrs. Felicidad C., whom we fondly call Nana, Mrs. Teresita C. Coson, Ms. Elizabeth C., Mr. Hans C., Mr. Henry C. Jr., Mr. Herbert C., of course, Mr. Harley C., Mr. Hans C. Jr., Ms. Mara C. Coson, and of course, our leader at SM Foundation, Ms. Debbie C. We would also like to welcome Mr. Jose Shaw, the President and Chairman of SM Foundation, to our dear members of the board, Dr. Lydia Echaos, Dr. Paulino Tan, Engineer Ramon Hill Macapagal. Also, a most hearty welcome to my mentor, Ms. Linda Ataide. I would also like to acknowledge the presence of our special guest today, Mr. Mario Deriquito, the President of BDO Foundation. To our friends from the Academe, partners in our My Scholar program, our media partners, and all our guests from the different companies of SM, from SM Prime, from SM Retail, from SM Investments, and of course, to all our dear scholar graduates and your parents, to everyone. Welcome to SM Foundation's 24th presentation of graduates. Today, we would like to celebrate the goodness of Tatang, Mr. Henry C. Sr., whose legacy continues to live on through the social good initiatives of SM Foundation. Most especially this afternoon in the lives of these present batch of 219 SM Scholar graduates. Tatang not only changed the lives of these young scholar graduates, but he has also changed the lives of your families. Di ba, graduates? The gift of a college education is indeed life-changing. I am a personal witness to this social good phenomenon, having worked with the foundation for over 15 years. But the gift of education is not the only gift Tatang has given to them. He also shared his life to our scholars through his nuggets of wisdom and lessons in life. He is an inspiration to all of us. Our theme for this afternoon, Stand with Grit, is inspired by one of Tatang's quotes. I knew I had the drive and determination to make something of myself. So graduates, memorizing nyo yan. The scholars know very well the kind of hard work, perseverance, and resilience that Tatang disciplined himself with in order to fulfill his dream. I am sure that the scholars have been inspired by Tatang's life, and that is why they are here with us, no longer as students, but as graduates. They have displayed strength of character by hurdling all the challenges of college life and the other problems they may have faced along the way. For your courage and determination, we are proud of you, our dear SM scholars. Grabe, natapos na rin kayo. It's been 5 years or 4 or 5 years na magkakasama tayo. We have prepared a very special program for everyone this afternoon. Our guest speaker and a few scholar graduates and alumni will share their wisdom, experiences, and social good stories with us. We may not be with each other this afternoon face to face, but we hope that you enjoy and be inspired by this virtual event. We encourage everyone to post your comments in the chat box. Pwede kayo mag-comment kung naiiyak kayo, natutuwa kayo, or you are just very happy with our event this afternoon. Comment lang kayo, scholars. On behalf of your SM Foundation Scholarship Team, I sincerely thank and acknowledge every one of you who extended help in making this event a success. Our virtual event would not have been possible without your immense support. Once again, welcome to this year's 24th presentation of SM Scholar Graduates. Good afternoon.
Thank you so much, Miss Lingling, for welcoming everyone to this event. So nakita ko na that people are posting what they think the meaning of grit is, and I can see na iba-iba talaga yung mga sagot natin. So I think people will be having a hard time choosing the 3 winners for later, but let's see. I'll announce that later on in the program. So as we mentioned, our program revolves around grit. And this, kitang-kita natin to with the SM College Scholar graduates. And to inspire you with some of SM Foundation's social good stories, please watch this CNN feature on deserving Filipino students.
Investing in the education of the youth is an investment for the nation. One of the country's largest conglomerates paves the way towards this bright future by giving scholarship grants to deserving Filipino students. I'm Pinky Webb, and this is Business Matters, where doing good is good business. Education is known as the great equalizer, as it opens doors to limitless possibilities, even to those who have less in life. "22-year-old Faye Ann Navarro is among those who were fortunate enough to reap the benefits of having a higher education. Having a degree in accountancy, Faye is able to help her family with their finances, working as an accountant for a construction company in Pampanga. But looking back, Faye knew that her hopes of finishing school was just a pipe dream, with poverty being the biggest obstacle blocking her way.
Noon po, mahirap lang po kami. May mga utang po kami. Kasi po kailangan pong i-sustain para sa pag-aaral namin at pangkain po namin. Unang-una po, 3 po kaming sabay-sabay na nag-aaral. Pangalawa po, ang income lang po namin noon kasi farmer po yung tatay ko. Bali, hindi po laging may pera po sa amin. Kapag ani lang po, doon lang po kami nagkakaroon ng pera. Tapos ang nanay ko po namamasukan.
Living his whole life impoverished, Faye's father, Anastasio, who is a rice and corn farmer, like his kin before him, made their situation his motivation to work doubly hard so that his 3 children won't experience the back-breaking labor of his trade. Even working part-time in construction just to provide better for his family.
Ang pangarap ko sa mga anak ko talaga, dapat makatapos sila kasi ako hindi ako nakatapos. Mahirap yung pera, mahirap talaga yung trabaho. Tiis-tiis, gano'n lang ang pagpapalaki ng anak. Kasi ayaw kong danasin nila yung hindi ka nakapag-aral, wala kang trabaho, sumugid lang ang palagi.
Like her husband, Rosario Navarro didn't receive any formal education growing up and was forced to face the harsh realities of life early on. But despite the great handicap, Rosario made up for it with grit and determination. Constantly looking for side jobs to contribute to her children's school funds while juggling with her duties at home as a housewife.
Sobrang hirap po, pero kung tutusin, sa akin, okay lang kasi anak ko sila, gagawin ko ang lahat para mataguyod sila kahit anong trabaho. Para alam ko kasi sa pag-aaral nila, ayokong danasin yung sa amin ng tatay niya, hindi kami nakapagtapos. Iba yung buhay ng nakapagtapos kaysa sa hindi nakapagtapos.
Agriculture remains an important sector in our developing economy. Yet a farmer's life is one filled with struggles, often associated with extreme poverty. But even with a sad romanticization of this once noble profession, Faye remains proud of her parents' livelihood.
Sa pagiging farmer po yun, wala nang po nagja-judge sa kanya. Kasi sobrang sipag po ng magulang ko. Lahat po ng trabaho, aside po sa pagiging farmer niya, nag-construction worker din po siya. Tapos ang nanay ko po namamasukan, nagbe-business din. Sobrang sipag po ng magulang ko.
But Faye is a realist. Even with her aspirations, she knew that with the cards life dealt to her family, her dreams will remain nothing more but dreams.
Nung high school po talaga ako, doon po kami talaga sobrang naghirap kasi dalawa po kami high school na magkasabay noon. Tapos mga projects po, mga allowance na malalaki na sa school na kailangan. Sunod-sunod po yung mga gastusin namin sa bahay. So naisip ko, paano po kaya magka-college noon?
Never want to give up, Faye's resolve remained firm. Even if she won't get the chance to step into college, she promised herself that she will find ways to support her parents and siblings.
Mahirap yung walang pinag-aralan, kaya ginusto ko po talaga makapag-aral. Kung hindi man po ako makapaghanap ng scholarship ko nung high school po ako, ang balak ko po talaga gawin, makapaghanap po ng part-time job. Pero talaga itutuloy ko po yung pag-aaral ko.
But fate had a different plan for Faye, an opportunity that will change the course of her life forever.
May friend po yung nanay ko na nagpakita ng newspaper po na nandun po yung SM Foundation na naghahanap ng SM Scholar. And then pinasa ko po yung mga requirements and then pasok naman po ako. So nagbaka sakali po akong pumunta sa SM Pampanga noon.
Times of crises brings out the best out of people, working together toward a common goal of uplifting the lives of those who are in need. Years of invaluable legacy and over 2 decades of fostering the Filipino youth's education and well-being, this is how one of the country's largest conglomerate gives back to society by providing scholarship grants to deserving Filipino students.
The SM College Scholarship Program started in 1993 with the vision of their founder, Tatang Mr. Henry C. Sr., to enable economically challenged students to finish their college degrees, which in turn will enable them to change the economic status of their families. As we all know, Tatang was not able to finish his college degree due to poverty. He had to work very hard at a very early age in order to sustain himself.
The education program is composed of 2 social group pillars, the school building program and the scholarship program. To date, more than 100 school buildings in grassroots communities were established nationwide, and over 7,600 scholars have graduated vocational and college education.
The application for the College Scholarship Program is now online. They can check the website of SM Foundation, and it is open to the following: all grade 12 graduates from public or private schools in the areas covered. Applicants from private schools must have a DepEd voucher and must be grade 10 finishers from public high schools. They must also have a general weighted average of at least 88%, equivalent to grade 12 during their first semester. And they must have a total household income of at most 150,000 per year.
Through the years, the company prides itself in seeing the way their beneficiaries have turned their life around for the better, which was exactly what happened to Ray, who now holds a high position in a multinational oil and gas company.
Nanggaling ako sa isang simpleng pamilya. Yung nanay ko, meron kaming maliit na tindahan sa bahay namin. Tapos yung tatay ko ay tumutulong sa hardware store ng uncle ko. Nung high school ako, talagang gusto ko maging scholar. Kasi hindi man sabihin ng mga magulang ko, alam ko mahirap sa buhay.
It was by chance that Ray saw a poster about the call for applications, a blessing that led him towards the realization of his goals.
Gusto ko kasi mag-aral sa UP. Nung panahon na yon, ang tuition sa UP, 300 pesos per unit. Yung buong tuition ko, binabayaran ng SM Foundation. Yung stipend na natatanggap namin, malaking tulong yun para sa baon ko. Expenses sa eskwelahan, lalo na yung mga libro kasi mahal ang libro ng accounting eh.
He graduated cum laude and earned himself his license as a certified public accountant. Just like Ray, Faye also took a leap of faith and applied for the same scholarship grant.
Fourth year high school po ako. Naghahanap na po talaga ako ng mga scholarship. Kami po ng nanay ko kasi po di po namin afford na makapag-college ako. May friend po yung nanay ko na nagpakita ng newspaper po na nandun po yung SM Foundation naghahanap ng SM Scholar.
She immediately submitted all the requirements for an exam and an interview, which eventually qualified her for a full grant.
Sobrang saya ko po nun kasi parang nawala po yung malaking problema para sa amin. Noon yung sinabi lang po, walang bababa ng grade na line of 7 po, ganun. Tapos po, 2.5 po yung GWA namin nun.
Faye became a dean's lister on her first 2 years in college and was entitled for a tuition refund, which she handed over to her parents to be spent on house repairs. The foundation currently maintains around 1,000 scholars enrolled in over 100 colleges and universities nationwide with full tuition and miscellaneous coverage.
Meron din silang monthly allowance and opportunities to work in the SM stores during their Christmas and summer breaks. The scholars also receive enrichment and engagement activities throughout their stay in the program, such as general assemblies, recollections, and other social-cultural activities, which are all learning-based and fun-filled.
The program covers various fields of study: computer science, information technology, engineering, education, accountancy, and financial management. Upon graduation, the scholars receive job offers from the different companies under the corporate umbrella without any strings attached.
Lagi ko nga sinasabi sa mga kaibigan ko, pati na rin sa mga katrabaho ko ngayon sa kumpanya, no, na ang aking college education ay utang ko sa SM Foundation.
Likewise, Faye is now an accountant and able to help her family survive despite the hardships brought about by the pandemic.
Sobrang laking blessing po ng SM Foundation kasi yung buong college ko po wala po akong binayaran. Kung hindi po ako natanggap bilang SM Scholar, hindi ko po alam kung makakapagtapos po ba ako ng college.
Investing in the education of the youth holds the same value as investing in the future of the nation. A deeply ingrained principle that guides this foundation in carrying out its mission.
For SM, the scholarship program is a way of providing our countrymen with a fighting chance against poverty. We see this social good program as a vehicle that will empower the youth, especially those who are economically challenged, to rise above their circumstances and lay the grounds for a better future for themselves and their families.
Thank you so much for that video. Before we continue, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Miss Teresita C. Coson. She is here in the room right now. Welcome to the event, ma'am. Alright, so about the video earlier, such an inspiring story, and these types of stories of Faye and Ray really show us how the grit helped them in changing their lives and their families' lives as well. So it makes you wonder, no? May ibang mga tao doon that take their education and their schooling for granted. And we're glad that none of the SM scholars do that, because this is something that they really want to change their lives. To also give us an inspirational message for our graduates to strive for more grit and more excellence, let's also give Mr. Mario Deriquito, the president of BDO Foundation, our warmest welcome. So our speaker this afternoon, Mario Deriquito, has worked both in the private sector and in government in various organizations dedicated to social development and education. After taking up management engineering in Ateneo de Manila University, where he was a scholar, he served as head in a number of NGOs such as the Marunduker Foundation, Mondragon Foundation, and Ayala Foundation. During the term of President Benigno Aquino III, he left the private sector for 3.5 years to serve as the Undersecretary of the Department of Education, where he worked on creating broad local and international partnerships for various nationwide education needs and programs. After his term in the government, which ended in 2016, he worked briefly with SM Foundation, then joined BDO Foundation, where he now serves as president. BDO Foundation is currently involved in the pandemic response, relief and rehabilitation efforts in disaster-affected communities, as well as rural health and financial inclusion programs. He is currently the Vice Chairman of the Philippine Council for NGO Certification, PCNC, and is an active volunteer in his parish, designing fundraising projects to build the parish church and to fund pastoral programs, fundraising ideas which he also shares to other parishes. He is married to Stella Deriquito and they have a son named Joey. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for our keynote speaker this afternoon, Mr. Mario Deriquito.
Mga scholar graduates at sa inyong mga magulang, members of the C family, SM Foundation team, other colleagues in the SM group, other guests, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. I would like to thank SM Foundation for giving me this opportunity to speak with you today. I hope that you and your loved ones continue to be safe and healthy as we go through this pandemic. Today's theme is Stand with Grit, something that is relevant at all times, but especially so at this time. Grit is defined as having the courage and strength of character. I think the Filipino translation, Tibay ng Loob, captures the essence of what grit is all about. Kailangan natin ng tibay ng loob dahil marami tayong dinaranas at daranasin pang mga pagsubok at kahirapan. I never had the privilege of meeting Tatang Henry C. Sr. in person, but from what I've heard and read about him, he is probably one of the best examples of a person with grit. The story of his journey as a poor boy brought by his father from China to being the founder and builder of the Philippines' largest business conglomerate shows the kind of man he was. It would definitely take a lot of grit, among other qualities, to accomplish all the things he had done and the great legacy he left behind. The life and words of wisdom of Tatang, especially in his 14 principles, are enough for us to understand the meaning of standing with grit. But allow me to contribute a little to the conversation by sharing with you a bit about myself, my experiences, and my insights. Like Tatang, And most, if not all of you, I came from humble beginnings. Ipinanganak ako at lumaki sa maliit na bayan ng Alaminos, Laguna. I attended a public elementary school and had the good fortune of getting a scholarship to study high school in Ateneo de San Pablo. Modesty aside, I think I did well in high school, and this enabled me to get another scholarship to study in the Ateneo de Manila University. As was probably your experience too, I had difficulty at first adjusting in this school, being a probinsyano na bagong salta. It was a good school. It trained me rigorously in academics, but it also taught me to ask and reflect on the deeper questions in life. The school calls its alumni men and women for others, people who use their skills, talents, and training to live a life of service to others. That stayed with me, and you might say it changed me for life. My training in Ateneo influenced my career choices. I felt that my calling was to work with organizations with programs and services for the poor and the needy. It was not an easy decision, but I strongly felt it was really my calling. Frederick Beckner, an American writer and theologian, said something which I think captures the essence of the decision that I made, and I quote, "The place that God calls you to is the place where your deep gladness and the world's deep hunger meet." End of quote. After I made my decision, I resolved to make a difference and to be a leader in the field that I've chosen to pursue. Each of you will also decide what to do with your life. Many will work in companies, some will practice their professions, some might even work in government or enter politics someday. Others may set up their own business. But whatever it is, Tatang's advice, based on one of his 14 principles, is for each one of you to strive to be a leader in your chosen field. But to do that requires a lot of hard work, a lot of determination, and a lot of grit. My work in NGOs, corporate foundations, and the government some years back really taught me a lot of lessons on grit. Those lessons can actually be summarized in the acronym GRIT, or G-R-I-T. G is for goal. If we want to last or persevere in anything we undertake, we really need a goal. A goal or a vision for the future puts order and meaning and direction into what we do. A clear and meaningful goal really has the power to summon the best from us, even in very difficult circumstances. I remember in my younger years, my NGO work brought me to the province of Marinduque. Tumutulong kami sa mga magsasaka at mga mangingisda na naapektuhan ng mga malalakas at sunod-sunod na bagyo. I lived there for 2.5 years. Isang maliit na probinsya lang ang Marinduque. Yung tipong alas 5 pa lang ng hapon, wala nang masasakyan at sarado na rin ang buong bayan. There were times when I really got bored and discouraged. But I carried on because I also knew it was temporary and it was part of the building blocks that will bring me toward my goal. Pag malinaw ang layunin mo, hindi ka mawawala. You will not lose your way if your why is clear. Kung malinaw ang layunin mo at nakatuon ang pansin mo rito, hindi ka basta bibitaw, kahit nahihirapan ka. In a way, a clear goal enables you to stay the course and get stronger in the process. Mas tumitibay ang loob mo. The second letter is R, or resourcefulness. In whatever field you choose, you will need a lot of resourcefulness, the ability to think creatively, to make the most of what is available to you, and to solve problems or to find solutions in difficult situations. I remember in the 1990s, I was working with a corporate foundation, and we were faced with the challenge of putting together 2 slum communities in Quezon City and a similar community in Antipolo into one resettlement site. If I were to illustrate the project and the problems on a piece of paper, it would look like a spider web. It had many moving parts, many stakeholders with conflicting interests, several government agencies to deal with. I remember spending a whole day with my team, sorting out the issues, breaking down the problems into small parts, and finally coming up with an action plan. That was a great learning opportunity for us on how to be resourceful. Today, the resettlement site is a thriving community, and the living conditions of the people there are much better than what they used to have. In this example, resourcefulness enabled us to stay the course and strengthened our resolve to continue finding solutions for difficult problems. The third letter is I, integrity. We talked about tibay ng loob. This doesn't only mean resilience and perseverance during a long and difficult time. This also means strength of character or integrity. When we go through a difficult time, we don't want to just survive it, but survive it with ourselves intact, fighting for the values and principles we believe in. This was what I learned when I worked as Undersecretary with the Department of Education during the time of President Aquino. In government, the scale of the work is staggering. Because of the amount of work, I even found myself getting sick towards the end of my term. It was all-consuming, 24/7, lagari talaga. One day I would find myself in Ilocos, the next day in Tawi-Tawi, that kind of thing. And when I was in the office, the paperwork, the meetings, and the huge programs we had to run. But it was not only the volume of the work. Perhaps the biggest challenge to integrity when working as a government official is that you hold so much power. You have command on huge amounts of resources, and you are vested with decision-making powers. And because of this, you find many people who want to be in your good graces and are ready to do almost anything for you. Our DepEd team at that time, led by Brother Amin Luistro, really made a conscious effort to make integrity a standard in the workplace. It was not easy to do, but we were all determined to uphold this and cultivate it in the department. I am sure that in your life, you will also be put in situations where your integrity will be challenged. The last letter is T for trust. No? In all the experiences I mentioned, the situations were very challenging, but I really learned to trust. First of all, in God, that He knows the bigger picture, that He is always working even if you can't see it, that His grace is always there. I also learned to trust people in the power of leaning on and learning from the gifts and strengths of others. I learned to trust in my colleagues, my friends, the other people I work with, that everybody has the inherent capacity to do good. Lastly, I also learned to trust myself. Sometimes, dear scholar graduates, we tend to belittle ourselves. What can I do? I am just a fresh graduate, or I am just one person. But look at this young girl who began the community pantry movement. Look at the power of what one person can do. Yes, even in the midst of the pandemic. So, my dear scholar graduates, I understand that you, actually all of us, are in a very difficult time. This is not the best time to graduate and to enter the job market when the economy is down and mobility is very limited. You worked hard to get an education, but now everything seems uncertain. Some of you are not sure when you will take your board exams. Many are not sure when you can get a job. The pandemic has put your world at a standstill. But I want to assure you, this too will pass. It is a temporary situation that may be very hard at the moment, but it will pass. Trust that God knows what He is doing, that goodness will win, that life as we all once knew it will be possible again. In the meantime, be thankful for all your blessings. Be thankful for your life and for having completed your education. Be thankful for family and friends and for SM Foundation and the C family and all who have supported you this far. And try to use this time productively. This time is given to us all for a reason. Be resourceful. Don't take this uncertain time sitting down. Learn a new skill. Study online. Try praying more or take advantage of different formation programs that your church or your school or other groups are offering. You may also think of ways to help others while keeping healthy and safe. And always pray and trust in God that He knows what He is doing and that He is in control. Let me end with these two quotes. The first one came from my former boss, Brother Armin Luistro, who said, "There is a seed of greatness in each one of us waiting to be unleashed." Bawat isa sa atin ay may isang binhi ng kagitingan na naghihintay patubuin at pasibulin. Perhaps Tatang Henry C. Sr. saw that seed of greatness within him when he said, "I knew I had the drive and determination to make something of myself." And so, my dear scholar graduates, find that seed of greatness within you and have the drive and determination to make something of yourself. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat at sa mga scholar graduates. Hangad ko na maging matagumpay at makabuluhan ang inyong hinaharap na buhay. Magandang hapon po muli sa lahat.
Thank you so much for that message, Mr. Mario De Riquito. And he was able to explain to us ano ang meaning ng grit. But I would also like to see what people have been writing down in our chat. So ito, from Charmaine Sibayan, sabi niya, "Grit is having an act of courage, strong determination, and a positive mindset to achieve your goal. It is an attitude that you still keep moving on to achieve your goal, even though there will be hindrances in your way." That's beautiful. So I'll read another one this is from Joyce Masiglat. "Grit is perseverance and passion in achieving your dreams, but also always strive for greatness and also be resilient. Life will never be easy, but we must stand up on our every fall. Live with integrity and be tenacious. Hold on to that dream and persevere until you make it into reality." And we also have one from, I want to read a lot of the comments here. Ang gaganda ng mga sagot. This one, short and sweet, from Miel Carlo Reganit. "Yes, grit is tibay ng loob." All of these answers are absolutely correct, but we will be choosing our winners at the end of the program. And remember, if you're going to be posting on social media, to use our hashtag #SMScholarStandWithGrit. So once again, for the previous video, thank you so much, Mr. Mario De Riquito. We will be expressing our appreciation for your gesture, and we would like to present this plaque of appreciation to Mr. Mario De Riquito to be awarded by Mr. Jose Sio, Miss Debbie C., Mr. Ramon Hill Macapagal, Dr. Paulino Tan, Dr. Lydia Echaus, and Miss Linling Lansan. So this is what it says on the plaque. SM Foundation Incorporated presents this plaque of appreciation to Mr. Mario De Riquito for imparting his valuable insights to the SM Scholar graduates, parents, and guests during the 24th Presentation of Graduates, Batch 2020 and 2021. Given this 26th of May 2021, signed by Miss Debbie P.C. and Mr. Jose T. Sio. There you go. Thank you so much for your amazing message. And scholars, I hope you learned a lot from what Mr. De Riquito said. Marami tayong nakuha sa mensahe niya. I saw that everyone was commenting as the speech was going on, so I can see that the speech actually inspired a lot of us. And of course, it's not only the academic achievement that will make you succeed, you also have to be a person of value. So at this point, we would like to thank and acknowledge the following people for making this event possible. Thank you for sharing this vision with Tatang by supporting the My Scholar program of the Foundation. Through these generous benefactors, more scholars were given the gift of education through the Foundation. We would like to present the Certificate of Appreciation to the following partners. May we please request for Mr. Sio, Miss Debbie PC, and Miss Ling to turn on their videos together with our benefactors and their personal scholars when your names are called. So under Miss Arlene Ke, we have Ruben James A. Esparar. Under Mr. Manuel Gana, President of Bell Corporation, we have Angela G. Madulid and King Paulo S. Vasquez. Under Mr. Antonio Tan, President of Biffany and Beryl, we have Diane Paula M. Realco and Maria May M. Rosales. Under Miss Evan Chan, Director of Conquest Philippines Incorporated, we have Shenalay Loris D. Raton and Leslie Divine M. Salazar. Under Miss Imelda Chan, Proprietress of Ital Design Furniture Depot, we have Angeli Blaze A. Sagi. Under Mr. Jeffrey Lim, Miss Vicky Juan, and Maris Tupas for the Louis Coson Friendship Cup, we have Kelraus A. Magoan. Under Mr. Eugene Cheng, Vice President of MJ2 Marketing Apparel Incorporated, we have Juluis Y. Trasmil. Under Mr. Solomon Ko, President of Premium Fabric Enterprises, we have Julie Ann M. Pagala. Under Mr. Marlon Johnson Lu Tan, Treasurer of Wealthmore Multilink Corporation, we have Bianca T. Gonzalez. Under Miss Debbie P. C., we have Dina Paula C. Eugenio. Under Mr. Harley T. C., we have Raynalyn B. Anyon, Angelica C. Aragon, Wishley A. Balanis, May M. Cabaltera, Maria Norlin R. Cesar, Rose Marl S. Chong, Annalisa G. Dalida, Angelica M. Duarte, Joshua L. Escalera, Prince Ruel B. Escanilla, Ram Reda T. Galbizo, Myri Chris M. Mabansag, Jeco A. Marticular, Eloisa Joyce H. Masiglat, Mark Joseph A. Medina, Renzo Moreno, Rochelle Ann Marie A. Nicdao, Lois M. Ortega, and Christian R. Quebral. There you go. So to our dear benefactors, we thank you so much for supporting and leading our scholar graduates closer to their dreams. Of course, we want to recognize each of our graduates one by one, but before that, our scholar graduates actually would like to express their gratitude to Tatang Henry C. Sr. and his family, who has helped make all their dreams possible. They're very grateful for everything that you've given them, for your generosity, and allowing them to shine through everything that they've been through, all their hardships in life, and for giving them the opportunity to give new life to their families. So here is a very special song from all of them dedicated to our dearest Tatang, his family, the partners, and everyone who is here to witness this memorable affair.
Happy to let you know you make me glow. I feel so good, it's true. So glad that I have you. You love me so. Now all is bright. I'll always thank you for the glow and thank you for the joy. Thank you for the love you give to me. I'm glowing inside with your love shining through. Thank you for everything you do. I'm glowing inside because of you. Remember my growing years and feeling joys because you're there for me. You cast my fears away. You wipe those tears. You gave me strength each day. I thank you for the love. I thank you for the joy. I thank you for the love you gave to me. I'm going inside with your love shining through. Thank you for everything you do. I'm going inside because of you. Who knows what tomorrow brings? My glowing wings can make me fly. Reach and now I touch the sky. Because of you, I soar up high. So I must thank you for the glow and thank you for the joy. Thank you for the love you gave to me. I'm glowing inside with your love shining through. Thank you for everything you do. I'm glowing inside because of you. Thank you, Tata.
All right, everyone, I hope everyone enjoyed that. So a round of applause for our Scholar graduates, and let us know how you feel in the chat. How was that video for you? Were you touched? Were you happy? Any feelings at all, just write them down in our chat. We really want to hear from you. So this shows the importance of education and how far you can go, no? We saw how thankful the graduates are, and it's all because of you, Tatang. Maraming salamat mula sa mga scholars at sa kanilang mga magulang. And now, to recognize our scholars, it is my honor to present to you our SM Scholar graduates for 2020 and 2021. congratulations to all our graduates. And at this point, we would like to recognize the graduates who excelled in their academics. Very impressive because this year we have 6 magna cum laudes, 25 cum laudes, and 4 academic distinctions in the areas of education, computer science, engineering, and accountancy. So ladies and gentlemen, our Academic Excellence awardees. All right, congratulations to our Academic Excellence awardees. And I have a correction. We do not have 6 magna cum laudes. We actually have 9 magna cum laudes. So congratulations to them. And aside from the scholar gifts that they will be receiving, each academic distinctions awardee will get 3,000 pesos each of SM gift cards, and cum laude will receive 5,000 pesos worth of SM gift cards, and our magna cum laudes will receive 7,000 pesos worth of SM gift cards. So congratulations to all of you. Once again, I'd like to remind everyone, if you will be posting on your social media, please use the hashtag #SMScholarsStandWithGrit. At this point, we would like to acknowledge the presence of some of our key graduates who to share with us their insights and testimonials on the journey that they had as SM scholars. So I'd like to introduce our first key graduate speaker to inspire all our graduates here. Let's all listen to Miss Rosemary Laksamana, SM Scholar graduate, magna cum laude, Bachelor of Science in Accountancy, Holy Angel University.
Bago po ako naging SM Scholar, yung buhay po namin, sakto lang sa pang-araw-araw namin. Yung mama ko po, housewife, dito lang din po siya sa bahay. Yung papa ko naman po, isang technician.
Yung sahod niya, minsan 1.5 lang sa isang linggo. Hindi naman kasi sila maselan kahit na ano lang kakainin nila.
Kung makikita nyo po na parang gawa lang sa light materials yung bahay namin. Kaya tuwing may bagyo, parang dasal na lang talaga yung nagpapatatag sa bahay na to. Kasi pumapasok yung tubig minsan, tapos hindi pa sa amin yung bahay na to. In terms po sa financially, minsan kapag kinakapos din po, nagbebenta kami ng yema ni na mama ko. Yan, binibili naman po ng mga kaklase ko. Minsan kapag naawa sila, yan binibili nila lahat.
Nagtatanim siya dyan yung mga kalabasa. Wala pang bunga, no? Yung bulaklak tinitinda namin. Palitan kami ni Rosemary.
Bago po sila nag-aaral ng college, mahirap din po kasi kulang talaga sa budget.
Gumraduate po ako ng valedictorian. Pero sabi nga, hindi naman yun guarantee na may mapapasukan kang school. Alam ko naman na yung mga magulang ko, susubukan nilang pag-aralin ako. Pero natatakot ako na baka halfway, tumigil ako bigla. Kaya ginawa ko po yung best ko para maghanap ng lahat ng klase ng scholarship basta makapasok ko lang. At doon ko po nakita yung SM Scholarship. Nagdadasal talaga ako. Sabi ko, basta makapag-aral lang, ibigay na po sana sa akin. Sabi ng mama ko sa akin, konting tiyaga lang. Konting tiyaga lang. Magiging may patutunguhan din to. First time ko po makapasok sa private school nung nag-college ako. Kaya na-culture shock po akong konti kasi sobrang mahal pala kapag sa private. Yung allowance po ng SM, sobrang laking tulong po nun. Ginagawa ko po doon, ibabudget ko po siya. Tapos challenge din po yung libro. Kasi sa accountancy po, investment ang libro. Minsan naawa siguro sila, binibigay na lang kaya pinapahiram kasi babalik ko na lang after. Wala pong idea yung parents ko na mag-a-apply ako sa kung saan scholarship. Parang inisip ko lang yun sa isang gabi.
Natawagan na siya sa SM. May interview, doon lang niya sinabi. Siya lang po yung nag-decision niya, kami wala kasi sa bahay lang po kami.
Habang nag-e-exam po nun, dun sa bulsa, hawak ko po yung rosaryo ko. Nagdadasal ako. Kung bibigyan man ako ng opportunity, sana ibigay na, ito na sana yon. Naghintay po ako ng ilang weeks, nagdadasal, araw-araw yon. Kaya nung tumawag po sila bigla na qualified daw po ako na maging SM Scholar, tinawagan ko po agad si mama ko na, yun na. Finally, makakapag-aral na ako. Libre, lahat. Tutulungan na nila ako. Marami po ako natutunan tuwing General Assembly simula first year hanggang sa dulo. Pati sa summer job din po. Yun yung pinaka-memorable din sa akin. Pero po yung mga pa-movies nila, minsan, yun, nililook forward ko din yun kasi sobrang privilege yun. Yan, mag-attend talaga ako. Tapos masaya kasi na-experience mo yung mga bagay na hindi mo naman na-experience on daily basis. Hard work, tsaka persistent sa pag-aaral dahil hindi lahat nabibigyan ng opportunity at isa ka sa mga napili. Kailangan i-prove mo yung sarili mo na deserving ka para doon. Yung tiwalang binigay po ng SM, hindi ko po sinayang kahit na nahihirapan sa 5 years na yon. Tinapos ko at ito po, nandito na ako ngayon. Yung original plan ko po, after ng graduation, magte-take ako ng board exam dahil pinag-ipunan ko na din po yung board exam. Kaya lang dahil sa pandemic, kailangan ko na ng plan B. Dahil hindi na sigurado yung mga board exam, nag-try po akong mag-tutor ng English online. Nung pagkatapos ko po nung mag-tutor, iniisip ko kung pwedeng mag-full-time na ako siguro na maging accountant kasi gusto ko rin i-practice yung kung ano yung napag-aralan ko. In the future po, para magkapag-give back naman sa communities. Kahit anong tulong man po yung kailangan nila, willing po ako na tumulong sa SM Foundation. Pinakamahalagang bagay na naibigay po sa akin ng SM Foundation at ng C Family is yung gift ng education. Dahil nga po isa siyang regalo para sa akin. Napapalibutan po yan na parang nare-wrap siya ng mga mabubuting tao. Siguro, kulang pa yung salitang salamat.
Yung dating dinadaanan nga na hindi ko dating alam, siya pala yung magpapatapos sa aming anak. Maraming salamat.
Magiging proud ako lagi na sasabihin ko na SM Scholar ako, naging scholar ako dito. Kay Tatang po, sa C Family, kina Miss Ling at Miss Linda at sa SM Foundation, sobrang salamat. Salamat, dakal pong salamat, dakal pong salamat.
Salamat sa SM Foundation at C Family at kay Tatang.
I am Rosemary Arlacsamana, graduate of Bachelor of Science in Accountancy from Holy Angel University, magna cum laude.
Thank you so much, Rosemary, for sharing the journey that you had with us from the SM Foundation. Before we move on to our next speaker, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Mr. Chico C., President of SM Engineering and Design Development, as well as the presence of Mr. Jeffrey Lim, President of SM Prime. Welcome to the event. And now to move on to our next speaker, let's all hear from Mark Giro R. Raciles, magna cum laude as well, Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering, UP Diliman.
Mahirap talaga kami. Basta I'm from Albay, Owas Albay. Nasa rural part kami. Simple lang talaga yung yung Owas, and then yung father ko ay farmer and a tricycle driver. Yung mother ko ay housewife.
Yung kinikita namin, kinikita ko sa pagka-tricycle ay halos pangbaon lang nila. Yung sinasaka namin kung nag-aani halos pangbayad na lang po ng utang namin.
Yung sobrang hirap talaga na dumating sa family ko ay yung nung third year college na ako. Dito na ako sa UP. Tapos nalaman ko pala na sobrang laki na pala nung utang ni mama sa yung mga lending.
Sobra po yung hirap namin. Hindi po namin kayang matustusan o matugunan ang kanilang mga pangangailangan.
Gusto ko na talaga magtrabaho para mabawasan na rin talaga yung mga utang. Pero in-advise ako ng mama ko, ng parents ko, and other relatives na kahit alam natin na sobrang laki ng problemang yon, kailangan bayaran, pero hindi dapat ako mag-give up sa dreams ko. Laptop yung naging problem ko. Parang sobrang old model. Yung cellphone ko at that time, yung the keypad. Nakabili na lang talaga ako on my own money, on my 5th year. Yun talaga naging mahirap talaga sa akin. So every weekend, nag-tutor ako sa math kasi yun parang masasabi ko na medyo inclined din ako. So yun parang nakadagdag din sa aking allowance in my college. Nasa 4th year na ako ng high school. So I'm transitioning na to college. So naghahanap na ako ng mga schools. Parang may nakita ko sa Facebook and yung advisor ko rin. Parang search for the Kabayan 10 Outstanding Public School Students of the Philippines. Ayun, after series of screenings, essay writing, interview, ayan, nakasama ko. Thankfully, sa Kabayan 10 Outstanding. Nung nakasama ko, that is, andun na yung SM Foundation. Yung SM Foundation talaga yung partner scholarship talaga. Sobrang laking benefit na binigay ng SM Foundation. Nabawasan na yung iniisip ng mga parents ko in terms of finance. Mahirap talaga magpaaral dito sa Manila. Magandang ginawa yon sa amin. May 3 akong natutunan bilang scholar ng SM. Education, perseverance, and then onting swerte. Kasi yung education, kailangan matutunan eh. Parang ito yung pinaka-safe, straight dun sa goal, which is elevation from poverty. The second one is perseverance. Important talaga na aspect sa isang tao. Pag meron kang goal, gagawin mo para ma-reach mo talaga yung goals mo, yung dreams mo para sa sarili mo, for your family. And then the last one ay a little bit of swerte. Most of us, pare-pares yung hard work natin eh. Yung iba lang yung nakakamit yung mga goals nila at a certain timeline, metrics, ganun. Swerte or opportunity. Yung mga activities ng SM Foundation, yun yung mga pinakagusto ko. Yung general assemblies, recollection, and then the Christmas parties. Ayan, sobrang saya. Siyempre nandun yung foods, of course. Nagpapa-games, may mga raffle prizes. Task planner talaga ako. Passing the board exam, being a licensed civil engineer, and then work in a construction or design firm. And then, if given another great opportunity, start a company. I was helped by SM Foundation. Pumasok na rin sa aking system na tumulong din sa ibang tao. Aside, not just from my family, but also to others.
Ako po'y lubos na nagpapasalamat sa pamilya ng mga Sikh. Maraming salamat po
Napakalaking tulong po ang naibigay niyo sa aming anak na makatapos at matupad ng aming anak ang kanyang pinakamimithing kurso. Kaya po maraming salamat po sa inyo. Nawa po ipagpatuloy pa ninyo ang pagtulong sa mga mahihirap.
So to the SM Foundation and to the C family, thank you for giving me this kind of opportunity. I'm Mark J. Regondola Rasiles, a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering from University of the Philippines, Diliman, magna cum laude.
Thank you so much, Mark Giro. That was a very motivating message for everyone here in this room. And this time, we would like to call one of our alumnus. Let's hear from engineer Mark Remson Makawile as he gives us his messages of encouragement.
Paano ba ako makakapag-aral? Wala namang ibang pinagkukunan yung pamilya namin ng ikabubuhay kundi yung pagpasok ni Papa sa factory. Sa SM Scholarship, doon ko naranasan lahat ng mga hindi ko pa nararanasan. Mahirap lang po talaga yung buhay namin noon eh. Yung kuya ko rin nag-aaral noon, parang suntok sa buwan kung makapag-aral pa ako. Kasi si SM, utang ko sa kanya kalahati ng buhay ko. Kung wala siya, siguro wala ako ngayon dito. Binuksan niyo po yung bagong chapter ng life ko.
Bago ako mag-SM Scholar, I may say na medyo struggling kasi that time same pa lang panahon na nawalan ng trabaho yung tatay ko. Na-lay off sa factory. Actually, we don't know how to figure out kung paano ko magka-college that time.
Dumating time na nakapasok ang anak ko sa scholar ng SM. Medyo gumaan-gaan kasi hindi namin kaya magpaaral.
Laking tulong po sa amin kasi hindi namin kaya yung sa pamasahe lang po niya araw-araw papuntang NU. Napakalaking gastos na po.
Nung SM Scholar ako, talagang lahat nagbago eh. Lahat nagbago dito sa bahay, lahat nagbago sa pag-aaral. Unang-una sa lahat kasi wala kaming problema sa babayaran eh. Yung mga program ni SM Scholar para sa amin, like yung mga summer at Christmas job, actually yun yung hindi ko makakalimutan eh. Kasi parang doon ako actually nag-room on how to provide good customer service sa totoo lang, sa experience ko na yan. Pagka-graduate ko ng college, after ko makapasa ng board exam, nakakuha ako ng offer kay Sir Hansi to join SM Engineering Design and Development. So I stayed there as an automation engineer. Marami akong nakilalang tao doon, lalo na yung bumubuo sa SM. And I enjoyed it. May opportunity sa Globe, I grabbed it, nakuha ko naman siya. Nag-stay din ako doon after a year. Pero another opportunity came, blessing, na nakakuha ko ng full-time scholarship sa Asian Institute of Management for the Master of Science in Innovation and Business. So that's a one-year program, full-time program that I have to give up my work. Pero yan, in parallel from SM hanggang nag-masters ako, continuous pa rin yung turo ko sa NU, sa National University, kung saan din ako graduate as part-time engineering professor. After kong makagraduate ng AIM, start ako sa Accenture as a business operations consultant. After 6 months, Citibank contacted me again to join their management development programs. So luckily, nasali ako dun sa program nila. The program runs for 2 years. On the first year, I was a product manager, and then second year is senior project manager, and now I'm already promoted to assistant vice president, focusing on project management pa din. Siguro as a person, nakita ko yung value ng education na sobrang laki ng impact. Kasi parang hindi ko naman malaland yung mga trabaho ko na yun kung hindi ako nakapagtapos ng pag-aaral. It gave me so much opportunity to the point na yung opportunity na lumalapit sa akin. Isa sa pinakamasaya rin yata ng moment is yung nakapagbakasyon kami family sa Davao. Nadala ko sila lahat sa Davao para magbakasyon. So, yung mga ganun, simple things na hindi talaga namin nagagawa before. Actually, mas nagmamatter sa akin yung napundar ko sa sarili ko, yung masters ko kasi may dalawa akong masters, engineering management tsaka innovation and business. Parang sa akin kasi mas importante yun. Yun yung naging differentiator ko sa lahat ng kasabayan ko sa industry na nagdala sa akin kung nasaan ako ngayon. Napaayos ko yung bahay, nakabili ako ng house and lot, may condo ko sa SM, planning to buy a car, tapos may motor ako dyan, sabihin ako si Papa ng tricycle. Yun yung mga natundar ko sa sarili ko siguro.
Sobrang proud po. Sobra-sobra talaga. Hindi namin ma-explain yung kasiyahan namin sa kanila.
Payo ko sa kanila, act as professional. You have the SM Scholar Badge sa inyo. Dadalhin nyo yan habang buhay. Kailangan ipakita nila na kung paano ka binuo ni SM. Yung prinsipyo mo sa buhay, yung pakikitungo mo sa ibang tao, dapat makikita yun.
Nagpapasalamat ako sa SM Foundation tsaka sa C Family na natulungan ang aking anak na si Remson Makawili. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat. Malaking utang ng loob namin sa inyo.
Pinagmamalaki ko na SM Scholar ako kahit saan ako pumunta. Again, message ko sa SM Foundation and sa whole C family, I owe you my life and I promise to continue the legacy of helping others. I am Engineer Remson Mark Makawili and I am proud SM Scholar Alumni, Batch 2014.
Thank you so much, Engineer Mark. And it is worth noting that Engineer Mark actually also graduated magna cum laude. So for everyone that's here in the room right now, how did you feel about those messages? Please let us know. Nakikita ko that you are writing your comments. Some people sumasaludo, some people are talking about how professionalism is key, congratulating their friends. So let us know more about what you feel about the messages that you just heard. So I actually hope that all the messages guide each and every one of our graduates as they go on their own path, because alam naman natin that all of us just want to strive for our dreams, and we're going to be doing that by standing with grit. So before anything else, I think that our scholars want to give us some thanks. So please keep your eyes glued to the screen for this one.
Maraming salamat, Tatang. Maraming salamat, SM.
Yaman ak lauming ta, thank you ang tulong at suporta. Adal ko, hindi ko lang. Yaman ak Tatang, yaman ak SM.
Salamat, Tatang. Dakal pong salamat, SM.
Salamat, Tatang! Diyos mabalos, SM.
Daghang salamat, Tatang. Daghang salamat, SM.
Damong salamat, Tatang. Damong salamat, SM.
Salamat kit, Tatang. Salamat kit, SM.
Thank you, Tatang. And thank you, SM.
It was wonderful hearing thank you in all our different dialects and languages. So, to the SM Scholars, congratulations and good luck! Hindi na kayo SM Scholars, but you are now on your way to fulfill your dreams out in the real world. But as you move forward, always keep the spirit of SM Foundation in your hearts. So let's all rise, and the Pledge of Loyalty will be led by Ray Abilo, SM Scholar Alumnus, 2004 graduate, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration and Accountancy, cum laude from UP Diliman, and currently the Chief Finance Officer of Shell Philippines.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon to the C family, most of all, to the trustees and management of SM Foundation, and most especially to the graduates and their parents. What our host mentioned, my name is Ray Avilo, and I'm your fellow alumni scholar of SM Foundation. And I'm very happy to join you today. And Lynn, thanks very much for inviting me today. About 17 years ago, I was also one of you, expressing my gratitude to the SM Foundation for helping me realize my dream. So at this point, my dear graduates, please raise your hand as we take our Pledge of Loyalty. I state your name. An incoming member of the SM Foundation Inc. College Scholarship Program Alumni Association. Do solemnly swear to uphold the ideals and goals of the foundation. To support its advocacies. And to practice at all times its philosophy of supporting communities. In the service of God, country, and fellow men. Congratulations again, fellow scholars, and you're one step towards achieving and realizing your dreams. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Abilo. And now to give us the final message before we end this fruitful event, we would like to call the Executive Director of SM Foundation, Miss Debbie P.C., to give her encouraging words.
Good afternoon. Today is a special day for all of us here as we celebrate the achievements of our scholars. First of all, I would like to express our gratitude to our partners in helping us spread social good through the SM Scholarship Program. Your generosity gave these students a chance to combat poverty and has inspired them to help their families give back to their communities. To our new scholar graduates, you have achieved a personal milestone. You completed the final steps of your academic journey during a global pandemic, one of the largest our world has ever faced. That is quite an achievement. We hope that you will take to heart the theme of our event, Stand with Grit, which is inspired by our late founder, Henry C. Sr. Take note that grit is very vital to wherever you are going, as it is a major driver of achievement and success. Keep in mind that being smart and talented are okay, but to do well and thrive in your chosen field, you need the ability to persevere. You need to have grit. On behalf of SM Foundation, congratulations to all of you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And now, Tatang, muli, on behalf of all the graduates, maraming salamat po. The scholars are actually very, very grateful, and we see it in their comments because you have touched their lives tremendously. And because of you, they were able to strive for excellence and stand with grit in order to reach their dreams. On behalf of SM Foundation, we congratulate all the graduates and we sincerely thank all the social good partners, those who helped and supported us, and all our guests who are here attending this event. But we're not done yet because the graduates, of course, have to get their presents. So here is a video of their unboxing. Alright, mukhang masaya lahat with their unboxing. So, the final part of the program, last but not least, is our virtual photo ops. So, let's please first start with our guests, the SM family, our benefactors and partners. please turn on your videos. And graduates, please turn off your videos first. Thank you. We'll be taking a photo now, and remember, if you will be posting any of this on your social media, please use the hashtag SMScholarsStandWithGrit. And now to call for the round of photo ops, I'd like to call on Miss Ling Lansang.
Okay. So thank you, Arian, for your wonderful hosting this afternoon. So scholars, did you all enjoy? Nako, marami ang nagko-comment pati sa akin sa Facebook, nagpipigil daw sila ng luha nila. Hirap daw kasi nasa office sila pero hindi sila maiyak-iyak. Okay, pinipigilan nila. Okay, for our photo ops, the first round will be, of course, the members of the C family with the board, and with our keynote speaker, Mr. Mario Deriquito, and our featured scholars, those who had videos, including Ray, Faye. Please turn on your cameras. Some of them have sent me their resumes already, and I have forwarded them to the different SM groups also. So hopefully, we'll see you in the SM world. Okay. We don't know kung pang ilang page kayo. Okay. Our Metro Manila scholars. Yan. Yes, there are signages, flashcards, and messages.
Thank you, SM. Thank you, Tatang. Thank you, C family.
Thank you, Sir Harley. Thank you, SMF.
Love you, guys.
Love you.
Teams internally.
Nagawi, you're welcome.
Yes, Sir Hardy. Thank you po, Ma'am Debbie.
Thank you, SMFI. Thank you, C family.
Alumni homecoming na tayo magkita ulit. Okay, are we finished with NCR? Where are our Okay, we're done with NCR. Okay, Visayas turn. Please turn on your cameras. Our graduates from the Visayas, that means Cebu, Iloilo, and Bacolod. And of course, Tacloban. We also have graduates from Tacloban. Turn on your videos. Okay, Mindanao graduates. Our graduates from Davao, General Santos, and Cagayan de Oro. I think for Zamboanga, we'll have graduates in a few years. Okay, Mindanao graduates. We'd like to thank, of course, our Corp Affairs team. Sir Chito, thank you. Vic and thank you. Miss Neni also. Super helpful.
For our media friends, thank you for covering this event. Thank you for sharing our social media.
Jessie, thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Of course, Dr. Charles, Dr. Tan, Miss Arlene, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much po. Thank you so much, SM family.
Okay, I can now see the Visayas scholars. All right, Visayas, please turn on your...
Thank you, sir.
Pwede kayo mag-Bisaya kasi marunong sila mag-Bisaya dito. Meron mga marunong mag-Bisaya.
Salamat.
Sabay mo walang ano.
So much. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Well, guys, sabi ko na
Yes, expectations.
Okay, are we finished with Visayas? All right. Removing the Visayas scholars, then proceeding to Mindanao. Lapit na scholars, mamaya nasa Singapore na tayo, ganon, nasa China, ganyan. So antayin nyo lang. Mga around the world na natin ito.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, SM Foundation, Ma'am Debbie, Sir Ramon. Thank you po. Salamat.
Sir Shaw, thank you again for being here this afternoon. Okay, if you notice, we have our Mindanao scholars coming in. By the way, our scholars already received their tokens, so I'm sure they are already wearing their watches. So thank you again to SM. As soon as the awardees also received their gift cards, they messaged me, "Ma'am, pwede na pong gamitin." Sabi ko, bukas naman, ganyan. So, but yes, they're very grateful and thankful for their gift. Queen who led our opening prayer earlier. Queen is from Davao. Hi, Queen. Thank you, Judy.
Thank you.
Yes, Annalita, thank you. Okay, so these are our Mindanao scholars. Angeli, do you have your video? Can you turn it on? We will be sending these 1,000 screenshots to the group chat of the scholars. So, abangan na nila yan. Just play the end credits and then we'll say hi to each and everyone. Thank you again. Please watch this.